Okay, here we go. Starting up with a new world building stream in the world of Galdor, the cozy, witchy, naturey world of Galdor. Um, we will be. Whoops, there we go. Working on some god stuff today, I think. Um, I thought I silenced those notifications. I beg your pardon. Alright, here we go. Okay. Don't need that. That can go away. Okay, that's everything I need, I think. So, we're gonna be doing some talk about gods and the like, and, we'll, we'll go from there. So, my husband, bless him, and kind of my co-GM for pretty much all of my games, because he's the one I talk to about them at the most, except his own games, and even then, sometimes I still tell him stuff that's gonna happen, and trust him not to metagame, and Mm. Also, for my headphone users, based on my husband's suggestion, I have changed my water cup. Because apparently, for headphone users, my other one is particularly loud, and I do apologize. So, nice quiet one now. Simple straw. You might hear like metal clinging, but hopefully it's not as annoying as the last one. So I beg your pardon about that. So there's a fix. I also hope the music level is okay. If the music is weird or too loud or too soft, please let me know. Apparently you couldn't hear it at all previously. I could hear it slightly, but I guess I had it a little bit too low for the stream end of things. Yeah, so little changes. We're dialing it in and figuring out how best to continue this and let it be a successful venture. So beg your pardon for pardon our dust, so to speak, as we make it better and better every time. I hope. Anyway, um, right. So we're going to be talking about gaming. I have Incarnate here, the free version, pulled up because I want to work on some visuals of the garden of something, whatever we're gonna call it. I gotta figure out uh, what I am going to be naming things as well. So that's always a fun thing. Um, okay, let me get over to here we go. There's my game page. Fantastic. Okay. So, for this, you've got, and this is Incarnate, so this is just the free assets. So let's imagine this being a lot greener than it is. This is about as close as I can get. So here's my thoughts. My husband was kind enough to draw me some diagrams and ideas that he had while he was at work and let me take a look at them. And he came up with some really great ideas that I'm going to implement and hopefully, solidify in map form because I'm not an artist. He's a little bit more of an artist than me. But even then, we don't have like a tablet or anything that we could actually draw this kind of stuff on, so we're making do with what we've got. So his thoughts basically on the cosmology of Galdor and surrounding environs and the actual celestial plane itself. He had was basically um, looking at it as kind of trees all the way down, more or less. So the gods are in their garden. And actually, let me pull up his chat so I have all of the notes that he sent me yesterday, so I make sure I get this right. Give me 2 seconds. He came up with some great ideas, and it helps. It helps me anyway get, ideas in physical form, visual form. Um, so first of all, we're gonna be doing uh, flat Earth, basically a flat planet, if you will. And that way. And hi, Arcane! Thank you so much for coming in. Um, it's good to see you again. I hope your own world building yesterday went well. I'm glad you're excited to see the lore that we figure out slowly but surely for Galdor. Um, Sorry I didn't see you before. I'm clicking around and such. And congratulations, you're the first one in. So, are my music levels and audio okay? Can you even hear the music? Because I'm learning. And I want to make sure it's not too loud or too soft. I just appreciate not having empty silence in the background. For both you and me. um, so yeah, actually, let me take a look. Paint. Let's see here. Do they have... Alright, so let's do this. So here's... There you go. That's not exactly what I'm going for. I can hear the music, audio levels are great. Overall, everything might be a little low since I had to turn my laptop to max, but all the individual levels. Okay, hang on, let me check my actual levels and see where I'm at here. Desktop audio, video capture device is muted because you don't want my... Okay, here, let me... Gonna put these up to like a 5, I guess? Does that sound... 5... Alright, how does that sound? Is it better? I don't know. I hope I'm actually doing something and I'm not just poking at things and messing stuff up. Little bit more. Okay. Alright, let's do 2. 2 for everything, sure. Okay, how's that? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Not too loud, not too quiet. I hope. Awesome. Thank you so much for being my guinea pig here. Alright. So, let's imagine Galdor, kinda, with, whoops, that was incorrect. Here, okay. So if we do a flat planet, so to speak, it's not, would it still be a planet if it's flat? Is it required for planets to be, you know, circular, or spherical, I should say, excuse me? I really don't know. Alright, and then I should be doing this. Oh, not that, that's awful. This. No? Work with me. Alright. Here we go. So, if we have a flat planet, and the top is a beautiful golden, verdant garden of a world, and we've already talked about how under mountains and underground are where all the bad things happen. Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever known the meaning of the word planet. Interesting. I'll have to look that up later. So, if all the bad things are underground, how about we just say all the bad things are on the other side of the planet? And everything's, like, quite literally like the Australia meme, where everything's upside down and weird. So, and we have these little, hang on. And we have kind of a... There we go. We've kind of got a middle... Let's do it in another color here. We're gonna do... this. Let's do that. There's a middle ground in between. Okay. Ooh, well, I had it for a minute and then I didn't. Okay. So... what if... not just underground and under mountains, but things underneath are where all the weird stuff goes, and all the weird people go, and all the evil people go. That way, it's not so much that they're hiding away, but they're going to where they're more accepted. So if you take the idea of the Feywild in 5e, they have the Seelie and Unseelie courts, and they're both different aspects of Fey society. This is very much the same, except it's even more of a physical flip of a person. So it's not so much like like another plane, like the Hells or the Feywild or the Shadowfell or any number of things. This is actually a physical moment where you, in order to go, you have to go through the. Would that be the Underdark then? Because I guess the Upside Down, if we're gonna call it that, will be the Underdark. So in between is this no man's land kind of weird, what's the word? What's the word? What's the word for things that are in between? Liminal. There we go. I wanted to say terminal, but that's only right if you're in an airport. Like a liminal space in the center that doesn't really make a lot of sense. A la your back rooms except fantasy, which sounds creepy. And then you go underneath to the actual area where the Underdark and the weird stuff is. So I guess it's both plane jumping and physical, because I guess, yeah, yeah. And we can, you can plug in your exits and entrances to other planes from depending on the side you're on. So on the top side, you can get to the celestial plane, but you can't get to the celestial plane from the bottom. That's really interesting because let's say some madman decides to be a big bad and wants to get to the celestial plane and kill the gods, for instance. Big world crap that I'm probably never gonna run because I'm not into those kinds of things. But Final Fantasy level of going to kill God because reasons. And so the bad guy would have to fight his way from the bottom to the top and through all of these good people, all these strong, amazing heroes that are on the top to get to whatever celestial teleportation or portal that there might be. And vice versa. For some reason, if somebody wants to go to hell to rescue the soul of their dead family member, they have to fight through this liminal space and down into the Underdark, and then there's these there are these fuzzy kind of in-betweens. I guess we'll do snow. So, no. So if there's fuzzy, there's like fuzzy, no, that's too opaque. Let me go like this. There's these fuzzy in-between spaces beyond, and that doesn't necessarily mean up, but it means reaching the next layer of existence. This is very simplistic, but it gets the idea across more or less. So yeah, we've got the top and we've got the bottom. We've got kind of a coin of a planet. From there, zooming even further out, this is also I'm still going with the tree idea. So actually, this, you could consider this wood. If there's like, oh, the Underdark instead of being made out of, oh, that's interesting. So if we just did this if this was wood instead, oh, like everything in the Underdark is like petrified wood. That's very interesting. Alright, so coloring that in, imagine this is wood. This is the branches of the tree, basically. So it's this curving at astronomical sizes that make no sense in the physical world. And if this is still a tree, we can continue down and imagine... Imagine the trunk beginning sometime in here. Okay. So there's your general schoolyard kid drawing in chalk outline of what the world is kind of like. it's really supposed to look like a tree, but it looks more like a weird nuclear explosion. But hey, we're working with the skills that I got. Um, okay. I actually did a weird like layering thing. It actually kind of looks like a mushroom more than anything. Oh, what if it was a mushroom now? I love mushrooms. No, it's a tree. I'm sticking with the tree idea, but maybe mushrooms will come in later. I don't know. That the Feywild's all mushrooms or something. So yeah, if you imagine a gigantic, massive tree, the people that are widely accepted by the better gods or are working in interest of the better gods are on the top. The people underneath are at the bottom, and going down is how you get to other worlds. There's so the idea from zooming out further, if we take this little tree to the gods, we should say, and we zoom out, the tree is actually planted in a root of an even bigger tree. Now, like I said, stay with me, it's trees all the way down. Now, going from tree to tree, traveling the roots of this bigger tree, that's how you get to other planes and other, worlds, whatever they may be in your campaign. We'll figure that out later. So, so continuing on, the bigger tree that the world trees are planted on, that's your celestial plane. That big tree is where the sun and moons and what have you and other other gigantic things that need to exist for life to exist are, and they move and they sway, and that is the natural movement of the world and the planets around, or the celestial bodies. That's the word. It's the celestial bodies around. So, and then on that bigger tree, those littler trees get cared for by individual gods. Galdor is Melora's baby. That's plant mom. This is her prized baby, the one she loves the most, the one she puts the most attention into. And then, like I said, they kind of, since the Pantheon has this kind of found family friend type deal, there's some, I took them from existing media. Hang on, let me get I usually go into the Pantheon suggested in the DMG, or I go to like a wiki. And I just pick and choose the ones I like. Here's the ones I'm using for sure. I pick and choose from various pantheons. So I've got Bahamut, dragon god. I love dragons, I'm gonna put Bahamut in there. Denir, god of writing and knowledge. Gond, god of craft. Hanali, goddess of love and beauty. She's in another campaign of mine, and I just love working with her. I say it like I talk to her at lunch. Helm, god of protection. Lathander, god of birth and renewal. Lyra, goddess of joy. Melora, goddess of nature. Mistra, Saloon, or Salune, goddess of the moon. Raven Queen, that's always a good one to have if you're dealing with nature. Death will be part of it. Tamora, luck and fortune. Joaquin, trade. And Yandala, halfling goddess of fertility. So those are my top side gods, if you want to call it that. Excuse me. We will have to figure out the bottom side gods here soon. So imagine a garden, big ass tree with a bunch of other little trees on it. Not so little trees, but and then you've got different universes and stuff like that in between, and so it can zoom out or in as far as you really want it to. Then you've got people, while Melora's off working on another plant, some insert god asshole here decides to mess with her stuff. ADHD brain is so intrigued with deities that I went on a quest to find every single D&D deity ever created in any edition and every piece of media. My God. Into a compendium, and it has over 850 entries. Wow. I was just... Jeez. Yeah, okay. I guess if whoa, hello. Ooh, that noise still surprises me. Hi, Sarah! Welcome in. We're doing some, D&D, world building today, and happy to see you in the chat. Feel free to give your ideas. This is kind of an open forum. I'm gonna blow out my candle here. I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing? What brought you over? Are you interested in D&D? Did you find me in another stream or something? Because I know I've been trying to be more active in the general community of Twitch and stuff, so... But yeah, welcome in. Like I said, this is an open forum, so as I'm talking, please, if you have any ideas or suggestions or cool inspirations, or if you want to talk about your own games and creativity, that is also very much welcome here. You listen about this so much. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Well, we're happy to have you here. Yeah, and we're just, we're building the world of Galdor, which is for my new campaign starting in February. Yeah, absolutely. You're more than welcome to join in on the stream anytime. So far, so good. We've just started, but we're figuring out the gods of the world of Galdor, which is a more cozy version of general Dungeons and Dragons lore, and from there we're gonna figure out how to make it so conflict can still happen. But I start with the soft before I build on the rough stuff, just because that brings me comfort. So, so continuing on, we've got our good gods. Yeah, oh, Arcane. That's alright. Hey, we're all here to learn. This is a place of creativity. The rules mean nothing. I won't even say... Let's just say we're building a fantasy world, shall we? We don't have to talk D&D. We don't have to talk rules. Let's just take this all at face value. Don't think that I invented any of this. Just assume because I'm a DM I'm stealing everything. But yeah, all you gotta know is this is a creative place where we encourage you to play pretend and have fun, and know the fun of playing games, regardless of your age, regardless of your job. It's so important. Please play more games, play pretend, get friends that are willing to play pretend with you, because it is the best. You're a newbie but professional on your work. What is your work exactly? Do you work in the creative space in any way? Are you an artist or a writer or anything like that? Yeah, but anyway, I'm totally listening, but I'm gonna go back and forth in between talking. Looking at this list, we'll also need some gods that are... Ooh, too many lines. That are not so cool. We need people, you know, bad guys for the good guys to go against. An artist! And 4 years! Wow, a professional artist in my stream. I am excited. That is very cool. Wow, that's very cool. So, is it like illustration? Do you do like 3D stuff? Like, what kind of art do you do? Do you paint? I don't know. There's so many types. Oh, excuse me. Yes, of course. Link your work. I would love to see it. If you don't mind having it on stream, because I will definitely have it up on this screen when I click on it. So, just so you know. And animation. Ooh! I love my animators. Cartoons are one of my favorite things ever. Quite literally. I've been watching cartoons my entire life. They are my preferred medium of entertainment. my Discord. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Let me bring that up. Let's see. If you have an artist site or like anything like that, please drop it in the chat, and so other people can check it out too. Oh, Discord is updating. I don't have a Okay, my Discord is updating right now. We'll worry about that later. But drop your stats, your bits in your any of your websites in chat, and that is totally fine. I don't mind links like that. Anyway, so we've got our. Here we go. Let me get my bulleted list. So. Okay. Thank you. Sure, 1 second. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna open up over here, just in case. 2 seconds. Just in case some... Anyway. Here we go. So, we've got our other gods here. So let's see. D&D deities. Oops. I don't think I'm going to go through the 850 that you've done. They're arcane, but, yeah. We're gonna see... give me a wiki here. There we go. That's better. I was watching a, yeah. I did see it, Sarah. Yes, they're very, very good stuff. So I know there's a bunch of lost gods and, like, no longer relevant gods. So, let's see. Starting with Bahamut, if you have to have Bahamut, I feel like you have to have Big Mean Dragon Lady as well. So... Tiamat. Alright. What is she officially the goddess of, even? There she is. Going down. Oh, I see what you're doing. No, yeah, you're trying to sell me stuff. I don't appreciate that. You can go away. Yep, I should have expected that. The minute I saw that they had, like, various, stream overlays offered, I knew they were gonna start to sell me shit. What are you gonna do? Okay, hey, does that mean I make it? If I have people coming into my chat like, I can make you stuff. Like, does that mean I made it? Have I made it? Because I have seen no money from this yet. And they think I'm gonna buy something? Yeah, no. Anyway. So let's see. What is she officially? She's in 9 Hells, I know that. Expand, yeah, the first world myth. I read up on this in Fizzbands, and I loved it, and it changed my whole Faerun world that I've been running with my husband for so long, because I just like the idea of, you know, a world created by dragons. Man, I had my first person try to sell me something. That's really funny. Let's see. Isn't she like the goddess of revenge or something? Goddess of evil, dragons, duh, conquest, greed, and cruelty. Okay, so we'll grab all that. We'll put that over in Tiamat. Alright. I know these are supposed to be lesser deities, but meh, we just treat them as real ones. Let's see. Insects. Oh, that's interesting. Lesser goddess of insects and industriousness. Braum. Ooh, that's a terrible name. Don't ever put an L next to an M in your name. It sounds rough. And I say that as somebody that has that several times in their name. And it's awful. Okay, let's see. Greater deities. I know that they have, I didn't know this, speaking of gods, I was doing some research on gods and stuff when I was talking about my, when I was changing up the Faerunian creation myth, into dragons. I didn't know that there was an even larger god of everything in the D&D pantheon. He's like Ao, and he's like super like neutral, and he's really kind of milquetoast and boring. Which I guess if you're gonna have a god, that makes sense. But yeah, but it was interesting to learn because I had no idea. I thought the pantheons were just what you chose or what you know, focused on. But no, they actually have a main god, like father of the gods kind of thing, which I thought was interesting. Let's see. Now I'm really trying to avoid racial tensions in my game because it's overdone. There's no need. We're gonna have different races, different things. So to avoid the idea that if you're underground, you're bad, and therefore dwarves and the like will be bad, I think what I'm going to say is, like, dwarves would probably be considered, like, a more neutral race of people, and, like, they're not looked upon necessarily with distrust or anything like that, but they... Because it's pretty well established in D&D lore that dwarves are the underground race, aside from, you know, your Underdark stuff, but, like, they're, like, the race that you know, you look, you know, Tolkien, thank you, Tolkien, for giving us this, and how even he apologized for racial overlays of his writing later on in life, which is good. So we want to avoid that, obviously. So I'm gonna say, here's what we'll do. Dwarves will be looking at as heroes, for sure, because I think they're looked at like astronauts would be looked at in our world. They're the only ones that go down into the earth, and well, I want to, yeah, I know the selfish thing can absolutely, and they get first dibs, that would be definitely part of it, but I like the idea of them being considered kind of like cosmonauts, but down. Like, what would you call that? Or, like, Terranauts? No. I'll think of a cool name for it later. But dwarves are looked at like, Terranaut. Yeah, Terranaut. Almost sounds like a dinosaur. Okay, so hang on, let me add it. Now I gotta add a page. Hang on. Go. Races of Galdor. Okay, let's do that. Nope, go away. Nope, go away. Okay. So if we look at dwarves first, only race to consistently brave the insert name here, we'll figure it out, the in-between of the two worlds. Looked at as heroes and explorers, kind of like your good old-fashioned, you know, Victorian, haha, let's go, except, again, without the racism, haha, let's go find this thing over here and try to avoid colonialism. We're gonna avoid that and just make it monsters there in the middle. They don't go into the Underdark unless they accidentally go into the Underdark, you know? So, yeah, I like that a lot, actually. So, yeah, all my dwarves now sound like Teddy Roosevelt. Like, bully! You know, it's just like they're all like that. Oh my god, I actually kind of love this. An entire race of explorers and discoverers of a no man's land. Oh my god, okay. I love this. Okay. Let's see. Terranauts. Terranauts. I like that. Alright. Okay, that is cool. That is very, very cool. I love that idea. Oh my god, I want to put 1,000 dwarves in my game. I want to play a dwarf in my game. That's the rough thing about being a DM, creating your own world that you think is really, really cool. You want to make a, you know, you want to make a character in that world and play in it, but you have to build it first. Alright, so I see, like dwarves having, like, these space suit, well, diving suits, basically, like the old school, like, bubble helmet, diving suits to go into this in-between, upside-down, whatever we want to call it, this liminal space between the two worlds, and I think that's where a lot of aberrations and stuff hang out, maybe, and maybe some Shadowfell stuff, maybe because this is a liminal space, this is a very open area for things to flood into from other planes. So you've got your demons, you got your aberrations, you got your fae even, and that's how they flood either up or down, depending on where they go and what they are. They're going to be attracted to one or the other. Okay, this is very cool. Alright, I'm seeing this liminal space as looking a little bit like the Hollow Earth from Kong vs. Godzilla. And if you haven't seen that, oh my god, it's so good. I love I love kaiju movies. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Oops, I lost my window. There we go. Okay, very cool. Very cool already. Ooh! Oh, I love that! Okay, and I'm terrified of space, so it makes more sense for it to be in the middle of the planet. But yeah, this big, hollow Earth area where there's just weird Mageddon stuff happening all the time, and all of these planes kind of bleed into each other, into this whirlpool. I've got to figure out a cool name for that. Okay, I'm loving this already. Oh my god. Alright. Very cool. Alright. Back to gods. I got excited. See, this is why we can avoid, like, that sort of tension in most games, because you get so much cooler ideas out of if everybody likes each other and how far society can get. I won't get on my soapbox about it, but, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the racial tension stuff is kind of overplayed, and there are important stories to be had in there, but when you're doing just kind of a, you know, a cool, chill, cozy game, I want everybody to get involved, or be kind to each other, more or less, except the, you know, and it's not race-based, it's, you know, ideals-based, if you can call it that, morality-based, something like that, I don't know. So yeah, I love that idea, I'm excited to continue. Continuing on with our gods. Hang on. Okay. Don't want to go all the way back to AD&D, I don't think. I'll stick to 5e for now, because it is a little bit little bit more streamlined for stuff like that. So Goddess of Winter could be interesting as a god to go, not necessarily against Melora, but her, like, sister, if you want. So, come here, you. I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna steal it. Okay, like a good DM. Alright, I like that. Okay. And we'll figure out, the intricacies of each god's connection with another god, and who doesn't like who, and who's you know, fucked who, and stuff like that, like you do. Let's see. Wizards. I've got a god or a goddess of knowledge. Denir. God. I think he's gonna be your wizard god. Just to make it easy. Bane kind of makes sense. Let's put them there, and I've been fighting him in Baldur's Gate, so that makes sense. Oops. Oops. Alright, Goddess of Misfortune. I do have a Goddess of Fortune. But I see Tamora and any god of luck to be basically both kinds of luck, so I don't think that she necessarily needs a direct mirror. Because who would worship misfortune? That seems silly. God of Murder Ball, I'm gonna skip it because it's, you know, it's inviting way too much, you know, stabby stabby, I'm haha crazy kind of. Even though they did it right in Baldur's Gate. Orin is probably my favorite bad guy in the game. She's super cool. But we're not gonna worry about it. Sent the information. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see it. No, my creativity is stealing. Like every good GM and writer. Yeah, give me that link, and I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick. I will be right back, but I will check out that link when I get back. 2 seconds. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank you, thank you. Ew. Oh, I gotta log in. Okay, 2 seconds. Do I have a login for... I don't think I do. Okay. Let's do that. 2 seconds while I set this up. Here, so I can take a look. That's weird, it's not letting me in. Nice, logged in and now it's not letting me log in. It's not letting me log in with Google. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay, yeah, if you could find another way, that'd be great. Alright. Gone, God of Craft, neutral, good. Lathander. Loviatar? It's Leviosa. What the hell is that? I don't need a God of Pain. Evil God of the Hunt. That's an interesting one to work off of Melora as well. We could... Malar and Melora is interesting. Chaotic Neutral God of Thieves. Maybe. Maliki, Goddess of Forests. Did I do that already? I should have... Well, Melora is kind of like all that, so I don't think that's actually necessary. Mercule, or, yeah, Mercule, however you say it. I've already got the Raven Queen. I'm gonna keep her. I like her vibe better. Mr. We've got... How many gods of knowledge are there? Oh my god. Divination of Fate. Char. Nah. Let's see. Wild Nature. Why are there so many? Wild Nature, Nature, and Forests we have so far for gods, and that's just in this one. Weird. Okay. Who is messaging me? Okay, I will get back to you later. Next. There we go. There. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully those are actually muted now. I keep muting them and it doesn't work. Umberly, the goddess of the sea, is always a good one. Chaotic Evil, really? I know they call her the sea bitch in Baldur's Gate. Maybe we'll just put her in for now. Because I like pirates, so having a sea goddess would be cool. Got Goddess of Trade. Let's see. Who else we got in Greyhawk? How many pantheons can I steal one from? Envy and Slaughter. Boring. Horizons and Exploration. Interesting. That might be what we use for the dwarves, but the dwarves have their own gods, so maybe it's something better over there. We'll try that. Evil, God of War and Discord. Okay, so we've got one God of Chaos already. So Hextor. I like the name. Maybe Hextor. Okay. Plague and Famine. Pain and oppression. Oh, yes, that should work. Okay, 2 seconds. Let me pull up that Insta. Hopefully it doesn't scream any videos at me. If it does, I apologize. Here we go. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's working. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Moving it over there. Oh, you did like the full like thing. Oh, this is great. Alright. Alright. More light. Okay, so this is, yeah. Gods of good. Okay, where are my... Night and hatred. That's very specific. Undead. Lies and greed. Hit-a-kill. No, I want to check it out anyway. This is a very useful thing to have, especially for people that are, you know, building worlds and trying to figure out their pantheons. To have this much information, I'm gonna be using both of these because I can refer this for more information for these general ideas that are on the wiki. So this is great, rather than having to search around and click through the wiki and get through all the stuff that isn't all that important. Revelry. Oladamara. I like that name. I'm gonna put her down just because I like that idea of a goddess of revelry. Sounds like a party. Alright. Common sense. There's a god. Oh, St. Cuthbert. Lawful neutral god of common sense. That's amazing. Can we bring him in the real world, please? We really need a god of common sense. Therazadun, I know him. He's okay. Eternal darkness. Hills and mountains. Vecna, I'm good. He's overplayed. Meh. Dragonlance I don't know anything about. I've never read the books, and I probably should. Night and Hatred. Where's all my chaos deities? Lolth. Okay. I could use Lolth as a chaos deity. And... oh, the Traveler! Where is he from? Eberron. That's cool. Page does not exist. Okay, so the Traveler didn't get anything as far as the actual page. Okay, let's take Lolth. I think we'll definitely be using her. Let's see. I might have to take some out of each, or at least of the good gods. Well, maybe not. There's plenty. Chaotic neutral. The shadow. The mockery. The keeper. I didn't realize... you know, I have the Eberron book, and I didn't realize that the gods were, like, named like that. That's very interesting. Huh. Greyhawk. Duty and dignity, ethics, nature, farmers. Interesting. So this is gonna be like more of a folk god. But I'm gonna write it down anyway. Ooh, that's weird. Hang on. I'm gonna borrow that. Because I think definitely in this world there's a place for the gods, or the farmers to have their own god. Okay, spring and renewal, magic, malice in caves, that's specific, insects and industry, stars and wanderers. Oh, like Stars and Wonders. That sounds like an album. Stars and Wonders. Goddess of the Woodlands. I don't think that's necessary. Time and Infinity, Envy and Slaughter. Portals and Enclosures. That's interesting. Horizons. Farlangen. No, your formatting is fine. It's when I copy and paste it that it messes it up because it wants this format, not the other format. That's not you. That's me. Farlangen. I just don't like that name. Goddess of Freshwater. That's very specific. I like the idea of like minor like gods that are like in things, like minor spirits more, like the Loa or the Loa in Voodoo and the little nature spirits in Shinto. Oh, what do they call them? I can't think of what they're called. Kami! The Kami? Is it the Kami? Something like that. The Kami of water and things like that, and air and fire and stuff like that. I love the idea of little gods that you can actually speak to, and they're kind of like messengers to the bigger gods. That's my ooh, oh no. Oh, Thumbs has decided to visit us. Hi, buddy. Come here. You wanna be on camera? You wanna be a star? Oh, come here. Alright, Thumbs time for a second. He's been in the bed all day because it's cold and he's trying to stay warm. Oh, hang on. Here you go. Cat. Say hi. He hates me right now. Oh, cat. Okay. Alright. There you go. Okay, cat time over. We're good. No, it's not time to eat yet. You got an hour. Alright. Anyway. Alright. He is the overgod. He just knocks things off when he feels like it. That's why I made it a flat earth. So the cats can knock stuff off of it. Alright. Cats are the secret gods of everything. Melora's, like, dad is a cat god. I will definitely mess with that. I will consider a god of cats, and them being, like, worshipped animals. Oh no! This whole world is just built for me, really. I'm just letting other people play in it. Yes, there's a god of cats. Why? Shut up. There's a dog god, too, somewhere. Wrath and Volcanoes. Goddess of the Arts. Ooh. That's a good one. Oh, man. Oh, man, I'm gonna have too many gods in here. I'll list some of them as, like, lesser, like you have done here. And then that will kind of change their whole vibe. So I'll probably have two separate lists of of top side gods and goddesses. Beasts and Strength, Lurg. It's the names sometimes, man. D&D, I love you, but jeez. I love the game, not the company. But Thievery and Jealousy, Undeath and Corruption, Music and Daylight, Lydia. That's my soul goddess. Dynamic older woman. Oh no, she sounds cool too. Oh man. There's another one. So many gods, so little time. Alright. Nope, let's go back over here. Alright. Alright, here we go. Time and Tedium. What a terrible god to have. Somebody was very angry when they made that god. With whatever they were having to do for whatever company they were working with at the time. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet, clearly. He's gonna start knocking stuff off of tables and it's gonna upset me. Could you stop? He wants to eat now, and we do not negotiate with terrorists. Hey! Knock it off. You have a fuzzy on your whisker. Okay. Stop distracting me. Cat. Cat. He'll sit there and stare at me until he finds something he can knock over. Don't you dare. My dice tray is right there. I don't trust you. Oh, okay. Stop distracting me. Sun and healing, ocean and sailing, Procan. Procan sounds like a medicine. Have you been taking Procan? You might be... Blah, blah, I don't know. Just... you entitled to financial compensation, that's the one. That definitely sounds like a medicine. I don't like the names sometimes, man. Rud, luck and competition, Rao, peace and reason. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one for monks to be a part of. I didn't know, again, watching Runesmith, who's a great D&D creator, he was talking about monks, and he does his basically whatever, the series, and he did basically monks, and I didn't know all monks had to be men. Did not know that. I knew nuns were women, but I had no idea monks could only be men. In the official historical context, of course. Oh, God. Oh, there's a way I can mute this, but I don't know how. There we go. I figured it out. Oh, God. I need to drink more water. I've had too much coffee and not enough water. Okay. Alright. So, here we go. Probably be more like this. Oops. This weekend I'll be I'll be meeting up with my last player for this this campaign, and we're gonna build her character, and we're gonna see what she comes up with. So I might come back next week with a whole new slew of ideas and a totally changed world perspective. So we'll see. Alright, I swear this will stop eventually. Alright, so I mean, we can. It would be simple to call it like the canopy or something like that, as far as the over and under and the in between. But let's see. Well, let's see what Word Hippo has for us, because I love this site, and this is how I name most larger things like land masses and things like that. Either I will go to Word Hippo and I will look up the general name. Okay, I will see you in the meantime, Arcane. I might still be around, I'm not sure. But yes. Anyway, so I go to Word Hippo and I look up the words that have the general vibe of what I'm going for, if I'm leaning towards something. Or if that's not the first thing that comes to mind, I will go to Google Translate and I will translate a word that has to do with the idea that I have for a nation or a god or, you know, something. And I will go through various languages and translations of that word until one lands on something that sounds like a name, and then I will work on that name and make it sound like a name until I've got something for it. So, you know, so if we've got a canopy, so we'll start there. So you've got to find the right one. Pavilion, gazebo. Ooh, gazebo! D&D lore. Cover, cursil, layer over. Okay, so they don't... Overstory. The upper portion of a community of plants above the understory. Oh, the crown, too. Treetop, the crown of the world, the crown. I didn't know. Overstory is cool. Overstory of the rainforests consists of tall, towering trees. Overstory. I like that, but needs a little bit more oomph. Swath. We've got like an in-between, liminal, marginal, peripheral, fringe. I mean, calling it the fringe, I mean, I think that's a show that I've never seen, but I've heard is good. I mean, that's kind of the more direct approach. Let's see what I can find. Maybe something that sounds a little bit more fantasy. Fringe sounds like kind of futuristic or modern at least. Violent essence. Border. Let's see. I mean, border is always there. The Verge. That's interesting. That sounds like a space thing. I think that might have been. Isn't that something in a show? Some space show? The Verge? Something like that. I'm coming up with all these shows that have nothing to do with what I'm going for. The Flange. Extremity, not really what I'm going for. Limit, the line. Partition, dividing line. Okay, the dividing line. What do we got here? Line of demarcation. That sounds like bureaucracy, not what I'm going for. Let's see. The gulf. The chasm. Disparity, variation, dissimilitude. Dissimilitude? I've never heard that word. I know there's, another word like that. Oh god. Verisimilitude, I think? Starts with a V? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I had no idea. Dissimilitude. Oh, that's hard to say. Dissimilarity. Yeah, that makes sense. Disparity. The disparity. The pit of despair. No, little bit too evil sounding. The variance. Interesting. The deviation. The distance. He's going the distance. Got that in my head now. Oh no. Discrepance. Nah. Okay, let's, I mean, there's, like, the divide and things like that, so, hang on. Let's, we're gonna do, go to English, please. Oops, English. And let's do divide. Let's start there. Let's see, let's do Hawaiian, Mahele. Mahele? That's a nice one. Let's see. Russian. Razdiliat. No, not what I'm going for. Irish. Roin. And hush. Divider. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Icelandic. Skip to. Oh my god. The skip to. That's amazing. Actually. The in-between space of two various worlds being called the skip to, making it sound really cute, yet it's like super dangerous. Oh man, that's really cute. That might be one word for it, but I don't think that's gonna be the official name, like, on the map. I love that though. The skip to. It's like blue skidoo, weekend to go to the dark side of the world. That's not where Blue wanted to go, you guys. Okay. Alright. So that's not giving me anything, and that's okay. Sometimes you run in a circle as a DM and you kind of peter out on an idea. So if we're, instead of focusing on the fact that it divides, let's focus on another aspect of it. Like I said before, we were talking about how it might be this open area of this almost this hub of thin places. If it's a liminal space is a thin area between rooms, if you want to call it that, but if you want to consider it outside of that, it can be a thin spot between planes. So there's always the veil, which is what I might stick with for now, just as a placeholder, unless I, that just sticks, which, it sounds like something fantastical enough to fit in this world. It also doesn't sound necessarily evil. It's something, it gives the culture that turn of phrase that kind of gives it life. It's just like, oh, that's beyond the veil. That's super weird. That's outside. That's out there. So referring to something as beyond the veil in this world has that specific meaning with it, which gives it that depth and that life to the terminology of the world. So, so we'll stick with the veil. So we've got, you got your top side and your downside of the general tree. I wish I could draw a tree, but I can't. That's this weird thing, this blob is what you got. So looking at that, if we've got the veil separating the two, and we've got one side that faces the sun, faces the celestial plane, and the rest of it faces downwards and faces this area that people generally avoid, let's say. So it'd be something like, again, I want to avoid like too obvious like good and evil kind of terminology, because I want room for things to be interpreted by the players. I just don't want to tell them if things are good or bad. I want them to know the general idea of the world, and then if they have ideas, I want them to have that freedom of going, what if blah blah blah. So I want to avoid anything like no, I don't want that, like that. So if we have the veil, you got topside. I mean, I keep calling it the upside down, but I'm gonna try really hard not to steal from Stranger Things, as much as I love the show. Alright, let's see. Word Hippo, what you got for me? Upside down. Overturned, appended, upturned, bottom side up, wrong way up, on its head over heels, topsy-turvy. So we've got topsy and turvy, that'd be funny. The veil between topsy and turvy, that sounds like something from Alice in Wonderland, and I love it. Tipped over, flipped over. Mussy, tussle, topsy-turvy, helter-skelter, pell-mell, higgledy-piggledy, that's a good one. Hugger-mugger, never heard that one. In disarray, let's see. I'm gonna regret this, but we're gonna do bottom. That's not what I mean. Internet. Underside, underneath, underpart, undersurface, underbelly, underbody, undercarriage, lower side, bottom side, soffit, base. Oh, I don't like those. Those are not interesting. The keel, interesting. The sole, also interesting, but eh. Foot, basement, yeah, no. B-side, B-side. The under something, the under point, the under web, nah, the under, I mean, we have the underdark, I know we have the underdark, you don't need to be screaming at your screen should it come to that, but I want something a little bit more telling of everything, of this world. Then we get really weird with it, so if we look at parts of a tree, and hey, shush. You got the trunk, you got the roots. I feel like there's more to it than that, and leaves. Like, that seems like 3rd grade. Come on, Wikipedia. Tree. Botany. perennial plant, yada yada. So there's always the scanning of the Wikipedia article. Sometimes you can get ideas from just the words used in the scientific space that can inform your fantastical naming. Um, uh, da, 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 da. Photosynthetic leaves, herbaceous, papaya, and banana trees in a broad sense. Tree species in the genus Dracenia? Dracena. Dracena, sure. Okay, so, you know, the family and kingdom and all that stuff is a great place to start, because you can take parts of these words and eventually turn them into made-up words. I'm sorry, Thumbs is being a real dick. Okay, taproot. Interesting. Lateral roots, germination, potassium bonds. Yep, you got mushroom. I almost made it a mushroom too. Okay, we'll stick to that for now. Let's go back to the gods. So in regards to to the other planes, I'm not doing too much thinking of them right now, due to I don't think the players / characters are going to be going there anytime soon, and even if they were, it would take a lot of planning and it would be a long time before it happened, so I'd have plenty of time to figure it out then. So I'm not worried too much about other planes. I'm trying really hard to focus on this plane and not get too overexcited, as I tend to do, and eventually, you know, get in my own way, so to speak. So I don't want to go too far outside. We're not going to worry about the trunk part of the tree. So if we've got this now figured out. That means we now have to figure out the actual form of the land that this world is on. So, world map generator. I found a great one, and I've got to figure out, was it this one? Asgar. Yeah, it was this one. This is a great little map generator for your general ideas. Okay, so now if I remember correctly, there is an actual way to set this to a flat world, a flat Earth. Or maybe it was something else. Mediterranean. Old world. That sounds good. Okay. Alright, so let's go through a couple here, see what we can find. And these also mark the biomes, which... you know, they tend to do a lot of deserts for some odd reason. I'm not a geographer person at all, so this probably makes perfect sense as far as, you know, real world geography goes, but fucking, if I'm making a fantasy world, I don't want to get too in my head about it, about the specifics of, you know, the biomes that are present. And this world is largely green and beautiful and, like, you know, Garden of Eden kind of stuff. That's a good one. So I would want a map. Oh, this is interesting. That is largely green. Oh my god. Stop it. This one's interesting. This is getting there, honestly. Ooh, that's a little desert. A lot of these feel like Minecraft maps. Um, oh, this one has like a big swamp area up here. Then it turns into ice? I don't understand. Does that make sense? Taiga. What's a taiga? I don't know what a taiga is, but there's a bunch of rivers going through here, which is interesting. Hi! This is the one, the players are not yet in it. It will start on in February, but this is the one that I've been planning. Sorry I didn't see you before. I was in my own head. Ice would be a mountain. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, this is we're trying to figure out the map of Galdor now, as I've been in and out of, figuring out over here. So we figured out so far that the world is largely flat, actually, in that it's a big tree, so the top of it, so it's more like a dome, I guess, that the people are on, and then that's where most of the good people are, you know, the general society, and then the underside, under here, is your Underdark area, except it's, instead of just mountains and stuff, and caves, it's actually this big winding tree canopy. And again, it's so huge that, you know, you don't notice it as a tree, and everything beneath I see is like petrified wood almost, and then the top side is Underbower. Hi, Lutheran! Lutherian, that's what I meant. Underbower is good too. The Underbower. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in. Or the Underbow? Nah, Underbower. That sounds weird. But better. Alright. Build deep, not wide. Make a general map with major town names. Oh no, I know. I've already, the thing is that, I've already figured out a large part of the beginner area, and in as much as I've figured out, specifically for the shelter of trees. Nice. Evershade is good too! Oh no! Okay. Those are all good. Everbower. Okay. I have the starting area already as figured out as as far as I am comfortable with doing, because I want the players to have a lot of say in how things work. And, so I have my NPCs, I've got my quests, I've got everything in the starting area, and then outside of that, where they're going to be traveling slowly but surely, is going to be randomly dictated outside of there. So, as far as the starting area goes, I am done. And I'm zooming way out because I want to have my players join into this stream or watch the video over on YouTube. I want them to be able to see the world come together, but I also want to avoid spoilers. So this stuff is either not relevant to their character or stuff their character already knows. So that's my thought in doing this, and me and my husband were talking back and forth about this yesterday, about building this world, and we were both super excited. So I want to work on the general cosmology of it anyway, just to have as a background that I can reference if any questions do happen. So that's why I'm zooming so far out, is because I just want to be sure that if my players do stumble upon this stream, or if they watch the video, that they're not spoiled by anything that I'm planning for them. I don't expect that they'll accidentally, I don't expect them to, like, seek out spoilers. I have asked them not to, specifically. But I still want them to, you know, come in, and if they do so choose to catch a stream and they have ideas, I want them to have a say as well. So this stuff that isn't as important to the character right now, I think would be less of a problem for them to have a say in. So that's my thought process right now. It's also to, yeah, exactly. I don't even, like, I kind of know who the BBEG is right now. um, way further down the line, and it is a huge spoiler, so I try very hard not to talk about it too much. And eventually, if this stream continues okay, then and I continue and I start actually running the game, I might do like one day a week is my spoiler stream where it's like players don't interact, don't watch this because we're going to be talking about the next game. You know, I've known players like that. I've never run for players like that to my knowledge, but I've definitely known players like that, and yeah, it's not great. I would not have them on my table. And I've put a little disclaimer on like the videos I upload the stream onto YouTube when I'm done. But I have put little disclaimers, be like, hey, if you are my players, fuck off. And if you don't fuck off on purpose, I will find out. Because you're not as chill as you think you are, and I will stop running the game. So, you know, I can start this over and over again as much as I want. I started DMing and introduced a potential person who is definitely big, possibly bad, arguably evil, and potentially a guy, and all the players immediately began thirst trapping for them. That's how it goes. That's our fault. As GMs, we keep making bad daddies, and it's just... It's like they can sense it. I view that with the same disdain as players who think it's okay to pop open the monster manual. Yes, during the game, and look at the monster. That is an amazing way for me to add another 0 to their HP and another 10 to their AC, you fucker. And all of a sudden they're really interested in fighting just that person. And if they stomp out, cool. Bye. You just made my job a lot easier. Yeah, no. I might have had a couple of those players, but like when I was running for like 11 people, but I wouldn't know. You have visual reference for Big Bad Evil Daddy? I would love that very much. Always. I absolutely have that. Oh no, I'm scared. I'm scared and excited. Oh, well, this is your fault. Are you kidding? This is your fault. Are you playing a Ventru campaign in Vampire the Masquerade? Look at him. Lucius, of course. Is he, like, okay, if he's the doorman, like, and he's for your Castle of Id, he should change form to whoever is viewing him and be the hottest thing that person would go for. Because that's hilarious. Yeah, definitely Faye. 1000%. Those cheekbones, are you kidding? And it's also a fun moment to be like, oh, hey, who's the hottest type of person for you, character/player? Because we know they're going to be the one that they're talking about their own stuff. Yeah, but if you have them change, like, form dependent on what the character is attracted to, that makes them even more dangerous. Are you surprised that they're thirst trapping? Did you this was planned. You wanted them to. It gives the big bad evil guy more power, honestly, if the characters and the players are both thirsting after said guy. Alright. Why is it all desert? I know it makes sense. There we go. We're getting there. So... okay. See, I want something... I guess Incarnate could give me that. Hang on, let me see what I can do. How do I save this thing? Here we go. Galdor. Doesn't change form, he's too vain. Oh yeah, he's too vain to change appearance to what other people want. That's fair. He's the doorman, but it's a play on the Middle English surname Dorman, which means wild animal, and the Spanish word dormir, to sleep. Oh. Yeah, okay. So he's not so much of a demon who gives you your desires. He's more of a wild card, kind of like, what is he? And the characters aren't supposed to know whether or not he's bad or good or what? Alright. Alright, let me go back over here. Whoops. Nope, 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 nope. That's not what I wanted. That's what I want. There we go. So he's a sleepy daddy. I'm sorry. I'm just channeling your players, I think. Alright, so... Alright, Fantasy World free, I guess we're gonna figure that out. Alright, so this is a little bit easier of a tool to use. So... Go away. Alright. So if this is a flat or dome world, yeah, I don't want to pay for Incarnate anymore either. I did for about a year, and I do enjoy it because it does make it easier, but I don't... What happened to my music? Why did my music cut out? Okay, sorry, there we go. Alright, now he's giving players access to the main setting, which is the Castle of Id. Okay. He renovates the floors to match the minds of other characters' fears and traumas and urges them to climb higher, deeper into the depths. Not good, but damn players be thirsty. Eventually they're gonna climb far enough down that they're just gonna find him in a compromising position. It's gonna be a problem. Okay. Oh, this is like, that's weird. That's squares. I don't like that. Okay. So if it's like a dome, I'm trying to think of like if I want how many different nations I want, because I haven't thought about the geopolitical anything really. I know most people get along right now. I mean, I know this is basic, and I know that, you know, the big the big ideas, the big political ideas are kind of the new hotness in games right now. I struggle with things like that personally. It's just not one of my strengths to figure out politically how things would affect other things. I can get broad strokes, and like I can be like, oh, this king doesn't like this king, or whatever like that, but outside of that, it's something I struggle with. I prefer much more, you know, it's stereotypical, but I just like a good old-fashioned good versus evil kind of, you know, Lord of the Rings, big bad evil dude, small group of people trying to make it better. I just prefer that. I feel like there's more room for heroic stories within that, because, you know, the morality and gray areas and not to say that there's anything wrong with that. I love playing in games like that, but I cannot write them for the life of me. I just can't. I've tried. I have tried, and I have failed. And I'm not subtle. I'm not a subtle DM, I'm not a subtle person. So I'd rather just have fun writing what I want to write, and having my bad guys be bad and my good guys be good. I don't think I've even had like a betrayal in any of my games, because I just feel like that it hurts too much as a player. Even like it's just like I've been betrayed. I've been betrayed by characters in RPGs, and it's rough. It's rough for me. It is. Maybe I'm too emotionally invested, but it's a rough thing to deal with as a player. Or a DM. I struggle with betraying my characters, because I don't want to do that. I want them to have fun. So, you know, classic good v evil, go on from there. And then, so the main thing, a big thought that I had when I first started like thinking about this world, and I did try to figure out politically, at least the nation that they're in, the nation of Arcadia. Will you be quiet, please, cat? Thank you. The nation of Arcadia, what it would look like, and I immediately went to the Never-Ending Story and the Childlike Empress, except I'm so sorry about him. Except the Childlike Empress is now no longer childlike. Just imagine this cool-ass fae lady not Fae, but she might as well be. Blessed by actually blessed by the gods, not like the kings of the past who said that they were told to be king by God. Because no, but somebody that was actually chosen to rule by Melora, not the world, but at least this nation. Um, and like how they're selected and how they come to be is up in the air, and something I can figure out later. Again, things that don't need to be figured out immediately. Um, but yeah, the first thought that I had was this good queen who does everything she does, for her subjects and loves her subjects and loves her job more or less. Maybe she wishes, we could always do the old school, like, queen escapes for a while and puts a decoy in the way, in the throne for a while so she can live a normal a normal life, kind of stuff. That's always fun to mess with, and that might that might be relevant later. But for now, she would just be this radiant, celestial beauty kind of woman that's kind of alien in a way. Like the childlike empress in the OG Never-Ending Story always creeped me out a little bit. Um, and the actress who played her, whose name escapes me right now, but she has an Instagram now that I follow, and she's awesome. She's just super cool, and she just goes to cons and signs posters of herself when she was like 9. It's fucking awesome. Anyway, but yeah, playing with the idea of this actually divinely chosen ruler to start, and then make her this icon and this alien thing, to only eventually discover that she just kind of wants a more normal life, or at least wants to experience that, every now and again. Whether or not she's immortal, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because that could go a lot of ways. Because no better way to inspire war than to have your ruler be fucking immortal. Let's be honest here. So we'll worry about the big strokes for that later. Um, so as far as the shape, I don't know if I want to do like a Pangea thing, or where everything's connected, because that might cause tension to rise between nations. You can do your various strangely shaped islands. I'm just scribbling just to get ideas out right now. Oh my god, my cat. Um, and I'm always tempted to kind of like draw things in certain shapes to kind of really up the fantastical element of things. But I'll try to avoid that right now. So if this is a huge verdant area, water has to be present all the time in most areas. So, like that random world generator, if things are too far from the ocean, they get a little deserty. So, I want to avoid that. So, I definitely don't want big swaths of empty land. Um, so, if we're looking, let's start something like this. And let's just freaking do something. Okay. So I was messing with the idea of making it, because I like, again, I went to my good old random tables, and like they had one table that was like, what's the shape of your world? And I rolled up a crescent, like a crescent moon, and I loved that idea. So if we take that idea and let's start it here, that automatically gives you that closeness to the water that you need for things to be green and verdant everywhere. Um, I'm not an artist, But if we... Oh my god, my cat is being the worst right now. I'm so sorry. Go. There we go. Going like that. And I need to keep that thinner, actually. Alright, so... Okay, and then we get a little weird with it around certain edges. So it's not too amazingly obvious. So, hang on, let me fill this in here. Okay. Now that it just looks like a big-ass french fry, don't it? I'm gonna do this. Maybe get something a little bit more what I'm... It's that color. Hush. Okay. It still looks like a french fry. Why does it look like a fucking crinkle cut? Maybe I'm just hungry. Alright. Here we go. Okay. Small changes. Small changes is the name of the game. Okay. Here we go. Alright, let's start with something like that for like the main... Actually, let's fill it in even more, because, again, I want big mountain ranges, and I feel like those don't... those don't really happen next to the ocean much, do they? Because it's like wind and weather and things. So you need to be kind of far away from... It's starting to look like one of those little worm guys. I hate myself. There we go. So looking at that, if we... let's down the size a little bit. Whoa, not that much. There are some sounds happening in my neighborhood that I do not understand. So looking here. So the area that the players are going to be in is going to be called the Viridescent Valley. It is actually a bowl surrounded completely 100% by mountains. And I know like the only way for that to happen is like a meteor hitting. Let's just say, sure. Let's say a meteor hit or whatever it is, according to the gods. And it's like literally shaped quite... It's not this big. it's firstly. But it's literally shaped kind of like that, because I've got my hex grid there for it. It's not that big. Hang on, 2 seconds. We're learning together. Itty bitty mountains. Okay, mountain range, sure, why not? I could probably just put one big mountain and just mark it, but whatever. And then let's that a little more. There we go. There. That's better. If we kind of cut it in like this, we have like some bays or something. Here, let me make that a little more exact here. Alright. Got some beach stuff that can happen. And we can cut these up a little bit. Again, to make it not too obvious what I'm going for. Oh, that actually looks kind of cool if you cut it up like that. Let's do that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Kind of like breaking apart there at the edges. I like that. And maybe one more over here. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so here's a start. Then aside from that, we could do another big space here. What kind of shape do we want to go with? I mean, can do... I wish I knew where I found that random table, because I'd roll on it again if I could. Let's do... I mean, if we're doing a crescent moon, we could do like a full moon circle kind of thing. This is not big enough. It's a Halo world. Alright, if we do something... Nah, that's too exact, huh? That doesn't look good, does it? Maybe something long, kind of... like... No, now it's Pac-Man. Alright, if we do something like... kinda like that... Don't worry, I'll chop it up and make it look more like something in a minute, but this is just the general shape that I'm gonna work with. Okay, so if we take that and we kind of cut it up however we wish. There we go. No, that doesn't make sense. There we go. Some lakes around. Oh. Those are big lakes if this is the size of the mountain range that I'm thinking of. Well, actually, that's not too big because math, I don't know. Hang on, let me go back a bit. Maybe something with a little bit more intention here of what I'm going for. If I knew what I was going for, I could, but... something that's fun to look at, but still looks, you know, real. Alright. Alright, I don't know if I'm crazy about this shape, so let's cut into it a little bit more on the edges. Let's see here. Go. I'll just put more islands around. Let's make this a little bit smaller, because this is supposed to be a pretty sizable map if this is to be the main land masses of the top. Alright, so let's do okay. Island nations are always fun for a little side quest idea. So we can put a couple of those, get your beaches. Okay. Alright. So hop, skip, and a jump across an island nation there in the center. So we've got like a main nation here. This is where the players are going to be based off. Then you've got an island nation here. Over here and here are going to be, and obviously the islands are going to be like fringe kind of societies. Again, you're going to have that islander kind of inspiration, what that looks like to the world. So I'll have options to mess with in regards to that. Let's see, how do we chop this thing up? Do I want to like make it half and half, or like something that's a little bit more broken up, following the islands, and then it eventually becomes something a little bit more whole. Let's see. No, not liking that either, frankly. Oh my god, I've only got 10 minutes left of this before I gotta start getting ready for the gym here. Okay, cutting it in half is not the way we do this. I don't think it's too exact. Looks too purposeful on my part. The cats are also demanding to be fed, so that will have to happen here soon. Alright. So let's just add some more islands for now. See where we get from there. Okay. Not too many. Now, you may be asking, if this is all on a dome, how doesn't it fall off? Why doesn't the water drain off? You ever see, like, videos of, like, little jumping spiders, like, wearing water droplets as hats? Let's just pretend that surface tension works to that size for the gods. So Melora literally went bloop, and, like, a little dropper made her little tree, and then on top of the tree she did a little dropper of life-giving water. And whatever branches stuck out is the land. And now the water stays there. Because magic. And if Melora wants it, Melora gets it. Maybe that's why Umberly is so mad. This is because that's not how water works. But Melora made it work that way. Okay, so this is... Alright, so this is looking okay. We'll mess with the shape of this later. I'm not crazy about it. This looks a little empty here. So we can do something... Let's start. Basic shapes, basic shapes. No need to get crazy with it immediately. Let's do something like a half star kind of thing. I'm going. Sure. And hello, Hoyle. Welcome in. Wow, all the way from Germany. Welcome in. We are just doing some Dungeons and Dragons worlds building, and I am trying very hard to be semi-versed in geography and how that works, but as you can see, it's not exactly coming across. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out the shape of land masses that makes somewhat sense in this world, and we're going from there. This is the world of Galdor. This is a cozy world that I am running for a small group starting in February, and I'm just trying to build a world from the ground up for like the first real time. Really trying to make it work and make sense, and be enjoyable to play. The world was created by, excuse me, so in D&D there's pantheons of gods, and then what this particular cosmology looks like is Melora, the main god of the pantheon, the goddess of nature and things like that. She has decided to make a garden of trees that represent worlds, basically. And in that garden, Galdor is just one of many, many trees that are planted on another larger tree, which represents the universe and the space outside of the planets. So that's where your sun and your moons and all the other bodies are. So there's, you know, the various worlds of Galdor and things like that, and then the sun and the moon are kind of in their own bows above it all. And the shifting of the wind and things like that are what decide the day cycle. it's going to be pretty similar to ours because I'm not the physics person to mess with that kind of thing. Now, in addition to Melora, there's a bunch of other gods that are kind of like, think of a bunch of friends that live together. They're not necessarily a family. They probably have as much drama as your typical pantheon, but it's of a different nature. The fruits are where the people come from. The seeds within the fruits are where are planted into each tree and sprout from there. So think of, it's trees all the way down, kind of thing. And we're when other gods get curious, they each have kind of their own world outside of Galdor. Galdor is kind of Melora's baby, and she takes care of it, but since she's kind of like the main god of the world, she also has to take care and at least check in to the other worlds. So when she has her back turned, sometimes her friends decide to kind of mess with her thing every now and again. Not in any immediately harmful ways, although the evil gods do sometimes sneak in and find a way to mess with her things. But they'll take, like, say there's, Galdor's tree, which is your material plane, and then there's a tree over here that's dark and shadowy, that's your Shadowfell, or what have you, or the Feywild, or whatever. If a god decides to graft a branch or a fruit together with, say, the human fruit that came from Galdor, or the elven fruit, I should say, the elven fruit from Galdor, that makes a drow, for instance, and things like that. I will eventually build how each one, like, mixed together and started working together. But for now, that's the basic idea. The fruits and stuff come from other trees and are plugged in sometimes to the opposite and find themselves in and out from there. Yeah, so that's what we're doing now. I will have to start wrapping up here because I've got to feed my cats and I've got to get ready to go to the gym. But we've gotten some good stuff figured out. I haven't decided if... Oh, actually, no. I won't be able to stream this Sunday because I have some family stuff that we'll be doing. So my next stream will most likely be on Monday. Same time, 12 to 2 Eastern time. So if you... Yeah, exactly. yeah, gods messed up the world because they're bored and want to kind of mess with their friend. Harmless pranks that end up making monsters or other races, because why not? So yeah, so that's what I'm working with. That's where we're gonna stop today with Galdor. I'm really happy with how this is going out. The map, I'm doing my best with free stuff because I can't afford the paid version, but we'll get the general idea of what we're going for, I think. Yeah. So, yes, Thumbs, I know you're hungry. They're both staring at me. If you can see Asher is right here, my little black kitty. He's right there waiting for his food, and Thumbs is down here screaming at me. So, I'm gonna call it here before my cats start knocking stuff over. Thank you all for stopping by. I got my first person that tried to sell me something on stream, so I'm considering this stream a definite success. So, yeah, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you all listening in and helping me out, and please continue to come back. I want this to be a group world built with as many people as possible, including my players eventually. We'll get there. But yeah, I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Don't forget to play pretend, drink water, take your meds. You guys have a good day. Bye. I also, if you don't already know what I'm going for, I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/LILAPPLEBLOSSOM. If you want to visit there, I have links to my Insta and stuff like that as well. Please follow me. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, YouTube.